Welcome back to Survivor Girl Podcast, everybody. I'm so thankful that you guys are joining me here tonight. We are on YouTube and on Twitch. I've got a very special guest, but you guys know the drill. I have to get into the disclaimer first. Also, happy Survivor Girl Sunday, everybody. So glad you're here. I'm not able to prescribe or to treat or do any of that kind of stuff. I am not medically licensed for any of that. We're just here to share our story, my story, the guest story, to help uplift and inspire everybody out there that is joining us tonight. So I am super excited. I have a very special guest. He's been here before, we'll say back in December of 2019. So it's been a minute. Yeah. It's been a minute. So I'm thankful to actually have a great friend. We haven't hung out in a minute, but so thankful to have you. He is also an author. He tells a story in the book Electrocuted, but I'm going to let him start off and tell you a little bit. Welcome.
Hey,
this is Denny. Denny Wasman. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Love coming out to Carroll.
Yeah.
Seeing the wind turbines.
Oh yeah. You're more from the. You just said you're from the city, so coming here is kind
Clio's a city.
Kind of a little, I guess. Compared to here. Compared to here.
Yeah, compared to here.
A little bit. Yeah.
Love it though. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I see a lot of stuff going on your Facebook. You've got you're out there inspiring people, telling your story, sharing your book, selling your book.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff going on, and it's all good stuff.
Oh, great stuff.
And it's been a minute again since we've seen you on here, and to catch up is awesome. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm glad to have you here. I know last time we went into about the book and everything, but those that have not saw that episode, we'll go back through and kind of catch up a little bit. So how's it been since we last talked? What you been up to?
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy with we got two little ones, Emma and Ruby. So and then my boy, he's graduating right now. So he's stopping. The semester's ending.
Okay.
So it's my daughter that's graduating here up in June. So,
wow.
Yeah. So excited. Yeah.
That's a lot. A lot going on.
Too. Yes.
Yeah. Just college perspectives and everything going.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
So, and then I was able to talk with Pastor Mike over at Mayfair Bible Church.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was a great time.
So you're out doing some more public speaking and kind of getting out there, doing book signings and things like that. Yeah. How long ago was it that you wrote the book?
Oh, the book was published in 2017.
Wow, and that was on your own doing a publish, or was it through?
No, Outskirts Publishing in Utah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
wow.
It was very simple. I mean, went through the email process. I should do some housekeeping. I want to thank the Hetzer family for being able to do that. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to, publish the book. And friends and family, good to see you guys.
Are you?
Whoever's coming up on, hopefully anybody's coming on.
Oh, we got some people coming in and filing in. Okay. Where are they able to get your book? I know we're going to talk about the story. You're going to share some of the snippets of the story, but where are they able to purchase the book? And do you have any public speaking that they can come and join you and see you? Or?
Yeah, nothing right now at the moment, but you can get me through the Facebook and stuff like that.
Okay.
And message me, and I'll be more than happy to send you a copy.
Okay.
They're $13.95, free shipping, to pay for the shipping, and sometimes I run different things, but
very cool.
Yeah.
We all have a copy, all of us here in the studio, Tony, Dawn, myself, we've all read the book. Incredible read. I mean, it starts from when you were younger. I mean, you have a lot of stuff that you cover. It's not just about the part where you get electrocuted and moving forward from that, but you cover a lot of stuff that you faced in your life and overcome.
Yeah, that's the point of why I wrote it.
Yeah.
To help others,
Yeah.
That if they're going through something, whether it's addiction or abuse, that maybe they can look upon my story and hopefully get them through.
So when did this? Okay, we go back to the story, and you start out with that. But you're talking about addiction and abuse and different things like that. Can you give a little bit to the readers or to the people that are listening where it kind of starts?
Sure. My childhood. I mean, my mother was an alcoholic, and so most of my childhood was the drinking and the different things, coming home from school and not knowing whether or not the house was going to get turned upside down, or how my mom was going to be that night. And so, and then seeing my other siblings and stuff like that, the abuse and stuff like that. But, you know, I made a vow that I would not be like that, and so I just worked on most of my life, growing up and not going that route.
Right. You learned and kind of adjusted and decided that that was something you didn't want to do for your life, that you wanted to move forward and bring more to your life, enrich your life in different ways. So that right there is showing how you survived through it and thrived through it. You went
Absolutely.
through a lot. I mean, if anybody who has read the book or is going to read the book, there's a lot of stuff that Denny does cover in it. But you grew from all of the experiences that you went through to move on to getting married, having
Yeah.
kids, and then
Meeting Christine in high
Yeah.
school, the high school sweetheart thing. And, shoot, it's been 20 years now. So, I mean,
Wow.
we're meant to be. And so that's that in itself, the faith too,
Mhm.
and how important that is.
Yeah, and you guys you said how many years now? Oh, I got you on the spot. Sorry,
No, it's
Christine, if you're
okay.
listening.
December
Over-
27th.
There you go.
It's 24, I think, this year. It's
Wow.
not 25 yet. But,
That's awesome.
We're getting close.
And you guys have that, like you said, you have that faith. You have that. You guys have went through a lot
Oh,
with what's
absolutely.
happened, and
Yeah.
she's your person, your side, your partner, and
Yeah.
everything that you do.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to have that kind of support. And so with that being said, with the book and everything, I'm sure she stood beside you for that. But did she help with any of the writing, or how did that process go?
Oh, absolutely, because there was 4 years into writing this. You get electrocuted. I have difficulties. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?
Right.
It just comes with the package.
Right.
And so with the brain trauma and the short-term memory loss and stuff like that, it just I don't know how she stuck with me with it. You
Yeah.
know? And so. Yeah, all the writings and stuff like that. But the publishing company was really great. Outskirts Publishing with the editing and stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know what we met actually by working at Bronner's together.
love Bronner's.
And I saw the poster. You worked in a department that was close to where I was working at. And I saw your poster up, and it showed his book, and that you were going to be talking and public speaking. And I kind of approached you and gave you a little bit of my story, my backstory. And you said, you have a story to write, don't you? And I said, yeah,
sure
actually
do.
I do. And then after that, it was just like, hey, I have a podcast now. It was weird. It was interesting because when we first met, I was just interested in knowing about, writing a book and your story and everything that you had going on. And, I purchased a book from you. And then it was just after that, I'm like, oh, now I have a podcast. That'd be interesting to have you on to tell your story. Not only did you publish a book, but to get out and share with people, because that's really what Survivor Girl's about, is trying to inspire and uplift people. And
Yes.
your story, I felt like, needed to be told, especially on this platform. So it was interesting because we ran into each other a couple different times.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that. I still haven't written the book. I have plans for something like that.
Very
But
good.
that's inspiring from you, and you telling your story and then getting out and doing these book signings and talking with people.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
a passion.
easy. I'll give you that. None of this is easy.
No.
But I feel that this is the calling.
Mhm.
And it's funny because it's not me.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It wasn't. This isn't me. I worked. I write in the book. I had 3 jobs. I used to work for the gas company. I loved to dig holes. I was that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy, drilling into concrete and stuff like that. These guys would be like, "You like doing that?" Yeah. Then I go to the gym. My twin brother, and we go lift, and the Lord has blessed me. Right. This is living proof that this is, or I would not be sitting here.
Right.
There was a 1% chance.
That you were going to make it through.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be here. And it's been 13 years this year, and it's still it gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To still be here and to be able to do.
Not only that, but the humbling experience
Mhm.
that I witnessed
Yeah.
coming back from the coma, that I write about in the book. It's just, like years prior, it would have been hard for me to talk about this. I'd have lost it, and stuff like that, emotional. But as time goes on, you heal too.
Yeah,
So
it's a different kind of a healing. And
yeah,
I think when you have such a story of triumph and getting through, when you finally get to that point of being able to share it, like I think you do know. Because you at times you still have breakdowns sometimes. Sometimes you have
yeah.
because you're human
Well,
and
sure.
you
Yeah,
feel all of that.
yeah,
But I've come to find with talking and public speaking and sharing with other people that I
yeah,
get to that point where I can get through it
yeah.
without having to
Good for
cry. But I
you.
mean,
Yeah.
I think it's healing though for those that are watching and listening.
Oh, absolutely.
It is good to cry and to heal through
Yeah,
things. It's you're human, and
that's
it's
right.
no matter what it is that you're facing, it's part of that. It's part of the healing process. I
Oh,
feel
absolutely. Yeah.
so.
And that was like when I talked to at the Bible church there. That was Pastor Mike over there. Shout out to you, great people. And he had a class that came in, and these were recovering, addicts
Oh yeah,
and such, and so just to be able to talk in front of them was a blessing, and hopefully the story or inspiration would come out for them as well.
I think that's another important part of sharing the story. Is there's some people that are just at their wits end. They're
Oh,
done.
absolutely, right now.
They
Yeah,
don't feel like they can continue to move forward.
yeah.
And with something like your story that you share, you went through so much. And I kind of want to get a little bit more into that,
It's
if
okay.
you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so take me to right before that. What was going on before all of this happened? Before you got electrocuted, where were you at in life?
Oh, sure. That was I was 33. I always say you couldn't. I was at the top of my game. You know what I mean? I joke with my boy Trevor. Hey, shout out to you too, brother. I would say let's arm wrestle. Let's just do this, and or just whatever the competition thing would be. I felt like I could take on the whole world,
Right.
and then it just stopped immediately when I picked up that drill. That day.
So you're on site and
Sure,
you are
Roseville.
on
Yeah.
work, like doing what you love, doing your job that you
Oh,
love to
loved
do,
it. Yeah.
and all of a sudden, just to explain what happens.
Yeah, sure. I don't want to give too much away.
Right.
But,
Don't give too much. Just
no, I
what
know.
some of it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll talk so much. You forget anyways. But yeah, it was June coming up in June, and we were in Roseville. Had a new guy on the job, and then I had the guy that I was working with, and then we had our foreman, Greg Horton, wonderful man, great guy. Loved to work with him. We meshed. He worked hard. I worked hard. It was a great team thing there. So, anyways, we pull up and we dig and we do most of the things, and we get close to the gas pipe. At that point, I believe the labor had gone and plugged into the house,
Mm-hmm.
and so the drill was plugged in. And so that day, for some odd reason, I picked it up with my left hand. I picked it up, and I was gone immediately. The electricity had gone into my pinky, through my arm, through my head, across my heart. It stopped it immediately, and then out my foot. I guess they said, I don't remember, but my leg was straight in the air, and I ended up on the the neighbor's driveway.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Wow. And when they found you, you had already passed away.
I was gone as soon as I picked it up. They tried to get a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's why I say, Greg Horton, he was a champion. He'd come up from the basement, and they all tried CPR on me, and they couldn't revive me. So at that point, they had called the EMS and then the fire department, and then they had come out to me. But before that, there was a lady next door that heard me scream. There's a death curling scream that you, like if you're dying, there's that scream that they say. That's what I've been told.
Wow.
That you do. And so she was getting into the shower, and she heard me out the window. The window was directly at me. So that was supposed to be. So she came out and tried CPR on me.
Was she EMS or was she?
Yeah, she was working third shift.
Wow.
So she was just getting off her shift, and hustle all day for her too, And here I am screaming, or screamed, and so she ran immediately. I'll never forget her. And I write in the book, that was meant to be as well. The
Yeah.
faith and all of this that's happened to me
Mhm.
is all in God's plan. That's what I want people to remember. I mean, it's so true. And even in your lives as well.
Mhm.
Even though if you don't think it's happening, you think your choices that you're making,
Right.
are your choices. I understand that. And if you choose the right way, right?
Right.
And that's God's way. And so, and the wrong way is the right way, the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it's not going to work out. But I won't. And I write in the book that she was there for a reason.
Yeah,
Yep.
I truly believe that. As soon as you say that she's just coming off of her shift and she's actually EMS, that's
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
For that to happen right by somebody's house that is like EMS, that's
Yeah.
And
there was something I write in the book also as far as the fire department. The fire department comes and that call. They had another call before mine, and it was canceled. And so my call came up.
yeah, that's crazy. So how long was it before this had happened? The event happened that they got to you.
I never did get a minute. They never did tell me how long I was out. I mean, I woke up 11 days later.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know how long the heartbeat wasn't beating, and so they try to say what the brain damage is between the oxygen in your brain and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's the miracle part of this, right?
11 days.
Yeah. They told my wife, Christine, you're going to be a vegetable if you don't wake up. You need to, you're going to have to look into a nursing home. And then I write in the book how they pray and go down to the chapel, and certain things happen.
Mm-hmm. The connection to everything to bring you.
Oh, very much so. And not only that, the part that where she hears me.
Yeah. When you wake up.
No, before I woke up.
Oh, okay.
So that's in there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you cover in the book of everything, the events, everything that's happened throughout your life from the beginning to this event. And, the 11 days later and how much struggle and how much it was to continue moving. Yeah.
I mean, my faith was strong before. A lot of people ask me, was your faith strong before? I say, absolutely it was. I always say I used to preach on the job, There's a guy out there. My man, Red. We call him Red, but Derek, and loved working with him. I don't know if he's watching right now, but shout out to you and your family, brother. And it's funny how it came out to be like this.
Yeah. So you wake up 11 days later. How are you? Like, are you able to talk? Or are you able to?
No, I couldn't move
at all.
I couldn't move for 2 weeks. Was this 2 weeks? Just after I woke up, I was so thirsty, dying of thirst.
And was anybody understanding what you were needing?
No.
And you're probably trying to.
No, and I'm trying to, with my eyeballs and stuff like that. And she would come in, wash her hands.
Right.
And I was foggy. I was so foggy. Yeah. I couldn't move my arms or my legs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of stuck with this. You're
stuck,
waking
and
up, not understanding.
My brother, I write in the book. My twin, Kenny, he brings a picture of Jesus, and he puts it up in front, right? And I'm like, wow, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And I prayed to that, and I asked the Lord, you pull me through this, and I'll give it back.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's part of sharing with your writing and getting out there and doing stuff like this. You're giving
you're a
back.
blessing, Heather.
You're giving back, and you've got a lot of people that hear your story, and it is inspiring what we've read and you joining us. We had him on before back in December of 2019. You guys can go back.
Wow.
You guys can go back and actually look at that interview, and you can hear a little bit more. But we got you until 6 o'clock here, so we've got, we're going to cover some more of that stuff. And so now that you are going through this, and you have your family, and you have that picture of God or Jesus that you're praying and wanting to pull through on this, how young are the kids at this time?
Yeah, Austin, he was just about 8, I believe. Ashley around 4, And now we have Emma. You know, I talked to Father, and he says, you know, these two are the reason why you're here. You know, your family, and I understand that. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'll never forget when they, you know, Austin and Ashley had come up to the hospital, you know, and they see me in that bed like that, you know. It wasn't Dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dad before that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dad that could do, you know.
So when they come to visit and your wife comes, like, how are you feeling about them seeing you this way? Like, how?
That was tough for me.
Yeah.
I still think of it today, you know, and that's why I pull through like I do today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the type of guy to show that, you know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
I guess you wouldn't tell now, but yeah, Tony. So, yeah, so I don't know, you know, and so I just,
Part of your fight.
part of the fight, yeah, and my
Yeah.
faith very strong.
Yeah.
Faith, courage, and a will to live.
And I can imagine
Yeah,
that.
that's what I put on there.
I can imagine that you're now. They're probably going to start weaning you off your medications and pain
You know, yeah,
stuff
that
and-
was something. Yeah, that was something that, you know, I still deal with today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How like
Yeah.
the pain of everything. I can't even begin to imagine.
Yeah, there's pain. Yeah.
Do you
always
still
pain,
deal
but
with a lot? Do you still deal with a lot of that?
I talk to
injury and
somebody.
whatnot?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I have my counselors and stuff like that that
Yeah.
help me through this. Yeah, yeah. I'm not the only one that does this.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it is mental health awareness, and there's so many people that are kind of in the transition of looking to either talk to a therapist or speak
Sure.
with somebody. And we talk about that a lot on Survivor Girl because I myself I have seen the same therapist probably since I was like 15, off and on.
Yeah.
She's kicked me out, broke up with me a couple times. We went our separate ways, and
Sure.
you know, it's if you need me again, let's get together and talk or however.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm glad that you brought that up because even if you're not going through something like, you know, Denny has faced or anything like I have faced or any of the other guests that we've had on, it's still okay to seek help if you need help, if you're feeling low. It doesn't mean you're going to
Absolutely.
be in therapy forever. It doesn't mean you're going to be on a lot of medications.
That's right.
It just means that you can have somebody to speak with. And one of the things I try to push forward with that is if you don't feel comfortable with your therapist, you don't have to stick with that one.
That's right,
You
you
can
don't.
find several different therapists to speak with. And now they have it to where you can actually talk online. You can do Zoom meetings. Actually, that's kind of what mine has been doing for a while here.
Same here.
Yeah, and you can
absolutely.
look around. You can find them from other states, other cities, other
Yeah.
places. So it's kind of open. That kind of is one thing I think that's opened up since the pandemic and everything is that you're able to do those kind of meetings even if they're not face to face.
Sure.
So you know I recommend that as well. If you no matter what it is you're facing, don't feel embarrassed about having to speak with somebody. We all need help sometimes.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so I'm glad that you brought that up and
Yeah.
that you continue to still work through all the things that you face. I mean it's I feel like that's strength. It is.
Faith. You know, I the church is very important to me, Father, and my faith is very important. Without that, it'd be tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, with all everything that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you rely on? Do you rely on the alcohol? Do you rely on the meds?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not the choice. That's not the path you want to go down.
No.
Right? I use the gym. I mean, I give you that. These guys look at me and they say, "Yeah, okay, he works out," but
Right.
hey, the Lord gave that back to me, and praise the Lord.
Yeah.
And so I use that.
So was there at any point in through this, like as you're coming out from the hospital and starting to wake up again, are they telling you that you aren't gonna walk? Or I mean, when you're awake and they finally see he's not going to be in a vegetable state or whatever,
Yeah,
vegetative.
right. Well, I woke up.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's
You know
when
what I mean?
they decided, okay, we were wrong about that part. He woke up.
Oh,
Right?
sure. Yeah, they give you the worst news. But,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Of
so
course.
and so it was rehab after that.
Yeah. Lots of
Lots of
rehab,
rehab.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I think
Learning
about
how
that when
to
I-
walk and talk again.
Yeah, swim. I was afraid of the water for so long. I loved water,
Yeah.
but the driving was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the driving. I think about that now when I drive.
Yeah.
It's been 13 years. I still think about when I grabbed that steering wheel
For the first time.
and cried uncontrollably, saying, "Am I going to be able to do this?"
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. And I got to give a shout out to transportation and stuff like that.
Yeah. through the
they took me around and they got me through it.
yeah. Wow. Wow. And it's hard. It's hard when you are you know you do things on your own. You're able to do all this stuff, drive everything before all this happened,
Yeah.
and now you're facing a whole new set of things that you have to overcome.
Oh, sure.
That you have to work towards, like the frustration. I can only imagine.
Oh, that's just one part.
One part, yeah, I can
One
imagine.
part. Y'all very smart. Yeah, right, Tony.
Yeah.
That's why I think for other people, right? I think that this will help other people. I would hope it would, right? I pray on that it will.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I mean, when I say there's a lot, my brain kind of goes doo-doo, and say, yeah, okay. I can't, yeah.
It's minute compared
yeah,
to
rebooting here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
right.
And as far as fighting with it every day, yeah, I mean, people they look at me and they say, "There's nothing wrong with you," and so I say, "No, don't do that.
Right.
Don't say that." You know what I mean?
You have no idea.
You know, it's tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that goes for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't know. You do not know what other people are going through.
They may look fine on the
Please.
outside, but never think that.
Yeah.
Or the famous snap out of it thing, or
Yeah, that's a
you
tough-
wouldn't say that to somebody that is going through cancer or something like that, and
No.
that bothers me, and that's why I try to look at people differently and go, okay, they may look like they're smiling on the outside, but what are they feeling? What's going
That's
on?
true.
Even in instances where we're all human, things come up, we have these things where we're not always happy, everything's not always wonderful.
Sure.
Surprise, guys, surprise, guys. But people deal with different things. Like most recently, I dealt with got a new vehicle, driving down the road, still working on getting the license plate situation. Got pulled over. My instance was, oh man, this guy he's being a jerk. He is being a jerk right now. But what is he going through? What has he been facing?
Yeah, sure.
So getting in that mindset and the mentality of that it's hard, but you look at people and we smile and we're passing by.
Smile. Nobody sees you smile now.
Well, that is a good point.
Except for
That is a
me,
good
you're
point.
gonna see me smile.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. We don't always know what someone's facing on the inside. And they may look like they're fine.
Amen. No,
But we don't know that. And I think that's one of the things too, with especially talking about this and mental health awareness and everything is
and everything
be kind.
that's going on, even with the political and
Yeah.
and this year.
Be kind.
Absolutely.
Be kind to one another.
Yeah.
Try your best. It's not always easy, is it?
No.
There's some tests I feel a lot, but through having to, I guess. Now, did you feel like you're totally different all the way around coming out of everything, or you have to relearn everything? Do you still feel
Yeah.
like you're still
yeah,
you
there's the
before?
blanks. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the what is it? The disability of it,
Yeah.
right? Right. The blank spots. I'll notice Christine. She'll be telling me this and that. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. So that kind of still weighs on me, but I it out far weighs out what I get back. So
Right.
it's okay. It's okay with me. Yeah.
And you talk about your faith and everything that you've had through this. Like,
Very important.
I know some people, when something like this happens, or not even anywhere close to it, they'll get angry. They'll turn away. They won't get closer to God. So what was that like for you?
Well, the experience I had coming back from the coma, I guess, is what I write in the book. It was an experience. And I had to read other books to make sure I had a near-death experience, and I experienced this here, and it's just an overwhelming, unconditional love, is what it is. Something almost you cannot comprehend it here.
Yeah.
People would say, "Well, you can't comprehend it anyway. You got a brain injury." No,
Right.
seriously. But seriously, it's true. And if you meet me and we meet up, and you'll see that. You'll see that. That's how I am.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I mean, I'm a hugger. You know what I mean? And now this, with everything that's going on, I mean, I believe that's the line. That's the dividing line, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your faith, and then there's Satan. I'll just come out and say it. I mean, he's here, and he's working very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even trying to get to church, that might be a problem for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's him working on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
So
That's how I
there's
feel about that.
sense. And instead of like having, like I said, turning the other way, and your faith got stronger.
Yeah, it does.
But you
But you got to work on it.
went
You
through
gotta work on it.
something totally different. You've seen the things that a lot of us have not experienced,
Okay.
and
Yeah, true.
you know.
True. You're right. You're right. I guess you'd have to die, or you'd have to have a near-death experience to to experience what I had. Right? I mean, I'm sure people think, yeah, I died yesterday. You know what I mean? I had a bad day at work, or you know
Yeah,
what I mean, or
right.
something happened, or
Right.
whatever the case is. You know, that's in funerals and stuff like that. You know, a good friend of ours from the church passed on. His name is Mark, and I'll be visiting him tomorrow. You know, at the funeral home, and he was a brother knight. I was at the night. You know,
Yeah.
when I was with the knights, and I'm looking forward to paying my respects to him.
Yeah.
Guy was a champion. Yeah. So.
Wow. Right. Yeah, it's. I mean, and not to just like point that out that you've had a completely different experience than a lot, but how is that though when people don't understand it? At first, did you feel indifferent about talking about that experience to others, like if they would believe you,
Oh,
or
sure.
where were you with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's another reason why I wrote the book. For those that can't see me throughout the day, or you know what I mean,
Right.
you can just pick up the book. There it is.
It explains everything that you experienced.
Yeah.
And
And as fast as the world's moving, right? Lightning speed,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Lightning speed.
it feels that way too.
And so that's another reason why I wrote it too. That way I can get it into as many hands as I can, and so they can experience it, to know that someone out there is praying for them, whether they whether they lost a family member, or lost a sibling, or just witnessed trauma.
Yeah.
Just know that this guy right here is praying for you. I'm praying for you. And if that helps, then
I don't know.
that's good.
Continue
for
to
me. It's
move
good for me.
on, and you know, it's part of doing this particular podcast is I get that a lot of people message and ask for prayers and stuff, and you know, that wasn't something that was really big for me before
Okay.
going through you know, cancer and everything. I would say I'll pray for you. Like, it's easy to say that and
Oh,
then
it
not
is.
do it.
Very much so.
And I was good at doing that. I'd be like, yeah, I'll pray. I pray. And then finally, for me, it was just something that I'm like, okay, no, if you're going to say it, don't say it, do it, instead of just saying you're going to. And
You know,
I was bad at that.
That's part of scripture. You know what I mean? A lot of people say they go to church or they practice their faith. You know, you got to practice it. You got to meet them halfway.
Right.
I mean, if you want to get out of this addiction, if you want to get out of your trauma, you got to reach out to him. And then he'll grab a hold of you, I promise, and he will pull you through, because he is perfect and he is right. There is no wrong. And it may not be the way you want it, right?
Yeah.
But
That's certainly the better way.
but yeah, right. But it's his way, and that's very important. Yeah.
So, if you were to give any of our listeners that have experience that has changed their life, I mean, like I said, we all go through something completely different. I know a couple people that have dealt with some illnesses and things that have completely shaken up the way that it was before they found out, you know, where they're at health wise. What kind of message could you give to them to make sure that they'll go through frustration, they'll go through not being able to do the things that they used to do, but what kind of message would you give to them?
Don't give up. Right, Tony? Don't give up. Don, right? Don't give up. You'll make it.
It's easy to try to
Yeah.
to give up, and to, we all have those days where we need to just take a breather.
Oh, absolutely.
And take time for ourselves. And I found that that's some of the hardest days sometimes, because you're so used to moving and doing and getting stuff
sure.
done. And
Sure.
I have this and this and this and this I have to get done. But then those days where your body's like, no, we're taking a break.
These are days you got to recognize your faith, right? Maybe God's telling you something, right?
Yeah.
He told me something.
Yeah.
He said, Denny, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
You're not doing what you just did. You're done doing that. And so, you know, that's, and whoever, you know, I always think of that too myself. People, you know, they you know, you don't work and you this lifestyle and stuff like this. This is not easy. You know what I mean? In a
Right.
sense.
Right.
I would rather go back to work. I'd rather go back to doing what I was doing, right? And so, coming to grips with that, whatever you want to call it, right? It's still tough for me today. It's been 13 years. So, yeah, it's very tough.
Yeah.
But I know I have Emma, Ruby, right? Austin, Ashley,
Yeah.
and Christine, of course, and the family.
Wow. And so, and you see, you know, where you were to where you are now, and all of the different things.
Oh, I'm so excited, Heather.
Yeah.
For what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm liking it.
You're doing.
liking it.
You're out there and you're sharing your story and you're helping people. You're helping people through the experience that you had to go through.
What a blessing. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you got your family and they're beside you, and
Yeah.
that's incredible. And you know, through the book you talk a lot about your family and different things and where you've come from and where you are now, and that's
And you know, it's not too far off from everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all in this together, and you know, the choices you make are permanent. You know, even with the suicide and all this and the kids, and you know, that's why I try to promote as much as I can. You know, for even the younger youth. You know.
Yeah. So when you decided to write the book, who was the biggest person that was cheering you on about it and said, did you come out and say, I want to write a book so that I can explain this, or was there someone that was like, you need to write a book?
No, very much so. Greg Hetzer and his family, champions. Love them guys like my family. Yeah. He said, whatever you need, Denny, and I'll help you through this. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And you do a lot of different speaking, or you're starting to get back
Starting
out and
to.
do more
Loving it.
speaking.
Yep.
That's awesome. So, what kind of, you said that you spoke at church before
Yeah,
and different
Pastor
things.
Mike at Mayfair.
So you're
Bible
getting out there and doing more things. So people can go. Is it just on your Facebook, or do you have an
Yeah.
actual page for the book and
There is
media?
an actual page for
Okay.
the book. You can go there or just go to my personal page. It's fine.
Just follow, yeah. Denny is really accepting. We've been friends for a while.
Absolutely.
No, that's good though, because you reach out and you show, you know, you talk about everybody, you know, the different people in your life that are champions. But when we stop and we look at you, we feel that way too about you and the things that you bring to help people out. Like, we appreciate you doing that and coming here and sharing your story and your book and your faith. Some people might not be knowing where to go with theirs or where they're at in life right now. And, you know, it's easy for people to go, wait a minute, he's talking about church, he's talking about God, and I don't feel that. Like, there's people that are listening, but maybe they might feel that. Maybe it will turn them to check things out or whatever it is in their spirituality.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different people, walks of life, and at this point, you know, I think your message is definitely, you are a champion. You're sharing what you need to share with people, and you're going with what you're hearing to do, what you're called to do.
Yeah.
And that's
His
incredible.
calling, not my calling.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you said,
Only
you
Jesus.
didn't do any kind of like public speaking or any writing or anything before all this had happened?
No.
No, you worked and you were working.
Yeah.
That was your
Yep.
thing, your gig.
Yeah.
And now you got a book and you're out there doing this and sharing with people, and we're happy. Like I said before, we're happy that we have you here again and joining us. If you guys go back,
you.
I'm gonna try to share the old episode with you guys. Like I said, it was back in December of 2019.
Oh man.
And it feels like so long ago already.
yeah.
We're thinking it was not too long ago.
Another
but
reason why I wrote the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you never know who you're gonna run into. You know what I mean? And it's like, might not see you again. Here, take this.
Yeah. Well, and that's
I hope
another
it
thing
helps
too. I can imagine. You speak with people, and I'm sure you had a lot of people. Well, how did you get where you're at? What did you do to get where you're at? And probably telling the story over and over and over. Not that you're afraid to share it, but then you can just be like, "Here's my book. Read the book, and you'll know."
Absolutely.
And then that way, because after a while, sharing the story, some details might get missed or whatever. But you have this book that you can share and go, "Okay, this is what I went through."
If you're not ready for it right now, you're gonna be ready one day for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping it's right next to you. You can pick it up
Yeah.
and keep you on the right track.
And it was a easy read for, very informative and everything. Like I felt all of the stuff.
Oh, God bless you.
I could feel when you're writing it and the things that you've gone through. I mean, you can relate, That's the things that I've gone through in my life, and I was like, man, I can relate with some of the stuff with you and the things that you've experienced, earlier in life. Obviously not what happened, but
Right.
yeah, so I feel like yes, it's a blessing to be able to get a hold of your book, but it's even more a bigger blessing to actually meet you and you're sitting here. You're here.
God bless you. Yeah.
You're here,
Yeah, right. I'm here.
And it took you a lot to get here to this point, probably,
And
after
the miracles, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for people to it was hard for me, right? I had to make sure that I had to go talk to Father. He says, "Yes, okay." You know what I mean? And if you have questions, go see a pastor. Yeah, go see a priest. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they'll give you the right answer.
Well, we actually on the Don't Make This Weird podcast had our pastor Randy join us.
Mug.
Oh, the Survivor Girl.
Oh, fantastic.
Life is best lived.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We actually had Pastor Randy from our church come and join us, and it was probably one of my favorite ones on Don't Make This Weird because so many questions, and man, the interviewing part of it, like it makes me excited to interview people and talk with them, to hear their side of the story. And it was really cool because to hear him being himself too, like to show people out there that yes, he may be, a pastor, whatever, but he puts his clothes on the same way we do our pants, whatever
That's
you guys
right.
want to say. And it was interesting though because we got to talk with him and he shared like his music taste and he's a drummer and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And you don't think about that stuff. Like
Right.
you're just like, oh, he's up
That-
there Sunday. That's what he does.
That's what I'm saying. That's what people think of me. I mean, don't think of that because I'm with the family.
Right.
I go to the gym. I like cars. I got a T-bucket thing. You know what I mean? That Austin's driving now, which I pray that he's okay in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was standing in it when I had it, built. There's a reason why we still have it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
My wife would say different.
Oh yeah.
But it's all right. Yeah, it's good.
Oh wow. So how many kids do you have? You said?
Well, we have Austin. He's 20. And
Oh,
then Ashley, she's 18. She's turned 18. I'm so proud of them. It's the Lord is so good. Beyond our recognition, right? He will take care of you beyond. He has took care of myself and my family beyond whatever I could ever imagine. And then bringing in, we did lose one, Tristan, right before Emma, but we have Emma. Love you. You're supposed to be in bed. What time is it?
Oh.
Okay, no, it's
not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. About another hour. But if you're watching, I love you, Emma and Ruby. They're probably all over the TV, but yeah. Yeah, so
That's
Emma
awesome.
and Ruby, yeah. Trying to potty train Ruby right now, so yeah.
Wow. How old is Ruby?
Ruby's 4.
Oh wow.
So we're close, yeah.
Yeah. Aw, that's incredible. So to see them and just everything that you've gone through and
Yeah.
just watching them grow up and continue
too.
moving forward. And
Yeah.
so with the other things that you talk about in your book and the things that you face with, like you instill like all the things, but you probably are still like, yeah, this is. Did any of them read your book? The older
I
ones?
think Ashley might have.
Yeah.
I don't know if Austin's thumbed through it, but they've lived it. They lived it with me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously after the electrocution, but
Right.
um,
But I mean, like
versus
the
childhood.
the stuff that you went through as a kid
The
and all, like
childhood,
the
yeah.
beginning, yeah.
yeah.
So, and going from that, we kind of talked a little bit about that on the last podcast when you joined about how you faced the different things with, and you spoke of mom having alcoholic and
Yeah.
alcoholism and different things, and going through that now you have your kids and you
Yeah.
just want nothing but the best from everything that you've
Oh,
experienced as a
absolutely.
kid,
Very important.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
continue to keep on,
But I don't take all the credit.
right. Well, yeah, you shouldn't.
My wife.
You shouldn't.
Is, yeah. You throw that word saint around, and yeah, we were just at a psychic fair. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Or,
I saw the post about that.
with
Yeah.
the book, yeah. And so these, they came right to the table.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we see, stuff around Christine and
Yeah.
yourself, and it's funny. The spiritual side of this is real. Okay, I write about it in the book. Okay, and so With that being said, it was funny because they had come to me and they were like, "I see you talking." This was the second person. I
Yeah.
see you talking in front of hundreds of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't see that, but who knows?
You never know.
Excuse me, maybe.
This is a start. I think, was my podcast the first one that you ever came on?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So you got
Yeah.
you starting with that. Well, you had spoke public speaking before that. That's how I saw the poster.
Yeah, I did
up
at the
there.
church there when I did a book signing,
Mhm.
and then I think that was it.
Now, has anybody approached you to write another one, or have you thought about
It's
anything
funny,
else?
yes, yeah. The lady, yeah, there was somebody had come to me and said, "You gonna write the second half of this?" Sort of like thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a
Nah,
follow up from it.
That's not.
That's not the
I don't
not the
think
path.
so, Dawn. You don't think so, huh? Do you think so? I don't think. Dawn, that's my sister's name. I love you, Dawn. Yeah, she's probably watching too. But yeah.
No,
I don't. I shouldn't say that.
you never you
You
don't
never
know.
You don't.
You never know. That's
don't.
that's a crazy thing. Like you get on an idea of something that you're gonna do, and like with me, it's just nuts. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this now, and everybody's like, wait, what?
Good
You
for
were
you.
supposed to be doing this other thing like 10 hours ago. It's kind of. Just out of the blue, I'm like, I'm going bass fishing tournaments with alligators, and everybody's like, what? Have you lost your mind? So I did the post.
You just did
you know?
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
So,
did something camping,
so I would
yeah.
make a post, and I'm just like, no, I didn't lose my mind. I found it. Like, but it's just weird because you never know which direction sometimes, and I'm just like, with going through cancer, definitely different experience from what you've gone through, but it's a second chance, and
Yeah,
it's been, and
survival.
I'm just
Miracle. You're a miracle.
I'm just like, okay, what's next? What am I doing next? And I have come to the conclusion, we were talking about this before the podcast, no more spare parts.
Okay.
Not. And I talk about that because I had adrenalectomy, so I lost my left adrenal gland. So I'm like, I'm not giving out any more parts.
Yeah.
I'm done with that part of it. Like, what do I need to do to make sure that I continue to keep being healthy and doing what I need to do? Maybe not putting a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and I'm gonna do this now.
Sure.
But it's part of the fun.
It is.
It's part of the fun. I'm not gonna lie to you guys out there that are watching. It's part of the fun.
Interesting.
I'm gonna keep it right here. If that's I'm gonna keep it right here. This is good for me right here.
And I wasn't
Tony,
with
I
that.
might do some gardening with you, brother.
There
but
you go. There you
Let's
go.
see, brother. Yep.
So yeah, go have fun, guys. I got 2 blue thumbs. No, not green, blue. No, but
We'll go
it's,
fishing.
there we go. Yeah,
Get a minute.
I
Yeah, we'll go
I
fishing.
love going fishing, kayaking, and all that stuff. But it keeps you going too, health wise.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you never really know what path, and then something comes up, and you're just like,
Yeah.
why not?
Now you say that, and if somebody's out there that has trauma, right?
yeah.
I experienced that myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the change. You try to go positive, right? You're trying to go positive, right? But brain injury, stuff like that, right? Anxiety, depression, all this here.
Yes.
Right? Very important. And
And
I
the
believe
health of
my
it.
faith. Oh, absolutely.
The
My
health of it.
faith has drawn me closer to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Not to snap and not to do this and not to do that, or maybe pick up the pill or pick up the drink or
Mhm.
pick up the smoke, right? So, very important.
It
And to stay
is.
as healthy as you can.
That is true. And it's hard sometimes because when you've gone through trauma and traumatic experience, and it could be completely different from anything that we've faced, or even studio audience or the people that are part of the show, Don and Tony, the things that we've experienced all separately may be different from your story, may be different from all the ones that are out there.
Sure.
And none of it is a joke. Trauma is very serious, and to come back from it and to continue to keep on moving forward even when you don't feel like it is huge.
Yeah.
So all those that are listening right now and you feel like you're not going to make it through it, you can thrive and you can
absolutely will.
survive.
Yeah.
You can do it.
And just know I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you that you will get through it.
And you can. And I've watched other people that have gone through things. One of my friends with brain injury,
Yeah.
she's done some incredible things with healing and
Oh, God
and
bless her.
it's important to when your brain wants to tell you that you can't do it, you can't get through it, you're not going to make it, or whatever, self-doubt, because it happens. It happens, I think,
Absolutely.
to all of us, our self-doubt,
Yeah.
anxiety, depression, like you said.
Yeah.
To not,
And even with what's going on today,
yeah,
you're
Yeah.
seeing it when you go out to your grocery store, when you go out to church,
right,
when you go out to a friend's house, right? Family,
Yeah.
even family.
it's sad.
Yeah, the closest thing you have, right?
Yep. And to not give up on that, and
Don't
we
give
talk
up.
about the health and taking care of yourself. It's not always easy. It's easy
No.
for like to go back to some of the bad behaviors.
Oh,
Me
absolutely.
and cookies, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Not gonna lie, sometime like through this past year,
Heather,
you know,
absolutely.
it's been a struggle.
And addiction is different. I mean, it could be food addiction, it could be any addiction.
Yeah.
But seek the help. You know
Seek
what
the
I mean?
help. Find
Oh,
something
absolutely.
positive.
Seek the help.
Yeah. Find
right
something.
now.
Something positive, something to keep you moving. Like you said, you do the gym, and the 50 million different things that I put forward. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta do this. But
Yeah.
that keeps me occupied, keeps me moving, keeps me happy.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah,
You're doing
same.
great, Heather. God bless you.
And everybody out there that is listening, like we said, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I find that it's hard. I faced it throughout my whole entire life. Not entire life, but as a teenager is when stuff started happening, and learned how to do the mental first aid classes, and went in and experienced that. And with part of that, they were talking in that group that young as 10 years old, 11, depression and different things they spike at that age. And
Absolutely.
man, that broke my heart when I realized that and I heard that.
Sure.
So, pay attention to your kids too. Be mindful.
And another thing that I fought too in the beginning, right? First couple, 3 years, I was wanting them to help me, right?
Yeah.
And they were helping me, but I mean, literally help me, cure me, right? And then the light would go off a little brighter and say, okay, Denny, you got to go do this.
Yeah.
You got to do it. They're there. Keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah.
And so that light got brighter, and it's like, okay, I can see now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah.
I got this. And it's easy too to, when you start to have help, when you start accepting help. You
That
start
too.
accepting the help, and then
Yes.
you start leaning.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's completely.
Absolutely.
You
Yep.
start leaning because you get the help. And then after a while, you're like, wait a minute. I have to stand on my own. I have to do
You have
this.
to. Absolutely.
And that's part of the fight, too. It's part of thriving and surviving. It's part of getting through trauma. It's part of whatever it is that, we face.
Yep.
And everybody, like I seem to meet, I hear their stories. And I'm
Yeah.
thankful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that they open up and that they can talk like that.
Oh, it's a blessing.
It's incredible to sit down with someone that you may not even know.
Yeah.
5 minutes in, and they start telling you about their life and what's going on. That's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
To
For
be
them
able,
too,
yeah,
as well.
it's
Yeah.
therapeutic. It's able
Yeah.
to help. But again, like I talk at the beginning of the show, it's not about being able to prescribe or to treat or any of that stuff, but to have an ear and a shoulder to have
That's that
for people.
unconditional love, right?
incredible. Yeah.
That he instills in us.
Yeah.
If people would just recognize it and use it,
Yeah.
that'd be it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's been awesome to have you back on the show.
We're
I'm
done
happy.
already? Come on.
We're almost there.
Tony, are we
yeah.
done?
We're getting there.
That's too quick.
It is too quick. I know. It's crazy.
I was going to tell you one other thing.
Go ahead.
Now, see, remember you said that small part where I wasn't being able to do things after
Yeah.
I got electrocuted. It's funny when people say that because the day right before, my brother and I were in the gym and we were lifting, and I had all this weight on the bench. I'm telling you, and we were videotaping it, doing the old videos.
Yeah.
And so it went up, and then the next day, I was gone. Yeah. And then it was the 10. I couldn't lift nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have everything,
Right.
And then the next minute it's gone. And that, in Scripture, He says, "Be prepared," because He will take you home, right?
Yeah.
When He wants you to go home, not when you want to go home.
Yeah.
Right? Suicide or whatever you're contemplating, don't do that. And if you're not practicing your faith, please practice your faith so you know.
Yeah.
that it's real, and it's forever internal up there, not here. You know what I mean? I could do a separate show just on preaching like that, but
We'll have to definitely get you back on, and we're looking at also getting you on the Don't Make This Weird podcast
That's
as well.
next. Yep.
We want you to get on there and come and join us on that show. And of course, that is something totally different than Survivor Girl. Sometimes I get that weird thing from people of like, you have a sailor's mouth. You don't do that on Survivor
be like,
Girl.
what? Denny was on.
Yeah.
Let's not make it weird. Oh,
Let's
okay.
not make this weird. But that's the thing, and I kind of want to just touch on that really quick before we go, because it's interesting meeting up with people and they're like, "So Survivor Girl, you're professional, you know, completely different." And then I watch Don't Make This Weird, and you're like sassy, popping off at the mouth. Like, what's going on here? Okay, guys, I'm not trying to pretend like I'm perfect and whatever. We
That's
talked
right.
about that. We touched
Yeah.
on that. I'm not. I'm
Right.
far from perfect. When I get going, I can't help myself sometimes, but I'm me. And then I'm just like, sorry. Like what? But and that's different. That's a whole different thing too. I'm human. I'm human,
we're all
and
human.
we
Absolutely.
are. And I think that we put too much on ourselves sometimes and forget that
There's
part.
a whole different thing to that.
We forget that part, that we are
Please
human.
Don't do that to yourself. Yeah.
So the weight of the world that you're carrying, when you're carrying right now, try to be a little bit more understanding with yourself, because we are all facing something. I know, and it's hard, and it's a struggle. But try to be kind to yourself. I think that's such a huge thing right now. And if you need help and you need somebody to talk to, I got a couple people that are on Survivor Girl. If you want to inbox us, let us know. We can talk with you there and try to help you get to where you need to go. Because again, we're not professionals and we can't prescribe or do any of that stuff, but we can hopefully get you in the right direction, get you to where you need to go, help you find therapy or whatever it is that you need. We have a couple people that are able to help with that on the Survivor Girl podcast page. If you need prayers, you need a prayer. If that's what you need, message us. We'll put a private prayer request up on the page. Whatever it is, we open that up to be able to help out in any way that we can. And I'm thankful that you're here. I'm glad that you showed.
Oh, I'm so glad I made it out here. Yeah.
Came and joined us, and with his story, I hope that you guys get in touch with Denny. Pick up his book, read the book, and I'm sure he's open with conversation and different things about.
Thank you, Dawn.
Questions and different stuff that you have possibly, or if you're interested in booking him to come and do speaking,
Absolutely.
Get in touch with him and get yourself a copy of the book. It's been, Tony's saying it, Dawn, we all are in agreement of the book. We appreciate you telling your story, coming here, sharing it, and also for writing the book, for taking that chance and doing it, and if you are on the fence about doing something like that yourself to tell your story, maybe look into it. He talked about the publishing. What was the publishing company?
Yeah, Outskirts Publishing in Utah. But there's others.
There's all, just take that first step. There's a lot of research that you can do to find out what fits best for you, just like with therapy and anything else. You got to do that research, do your due diligence, and figure out what it is, the direction of the path that you need to go. So we thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Denny, again, for coming on. Yep. All of you at YouTube, on YouTube channel, and on Twitch, and SolidStateRadio.net. We thank you so much for tuning in, listening, and we hope that this, if anything, that we uplifted and inspired you today. And remember, guys, life is best lived.
I love that. Yeah.